Good morning again. We're here again, Ingibjörg Álfrún Björnsdóttir and Svanhildur Svavarsdóttir. We're here going to discuss the possibilities of getting a job for people on the spectrum. And my first question to you, Ingibjörg, today, it's what is your opinion on the job market today for people on the spectrum?
I think that in the Western world, at least where I know, like in Europe, the US and Britain, it's very difficult for people on the autism spectrum to get jobs. I think about 80–90% of people on the spectrum are unemployed, regardless of ability. And my opinion, of course, is that the job market is not open to people on the spectrum as such. The job market has not yet realized that autistic people are a great untapped resource for everything, really. And also the job market is not willing to put in the extra work that is required in order to employ autistic people. It is like if you are a supervisor in the job market and you have an autistic employee, it is some extra work for you. And a lot of people, they don't want to put in that extra work, so they simply do not hire autistic people. But we are losing as a society, as societies, we are losing an enormous innovative capacity by not giving autistic people at least a chance, you know what I mean?
I agree. So what is your experience? You are highly educated. What's your experience on the job market?
Well, I had some difficulty adjusting to the job market here in Iceland, Northern Europe. So I actually took 4 university degrees because I was afraid to move out of academia. Academia is maybe the easiest place for autistic people to get a job. I think many professors, I'm sure, are on the spectrum, even though they may not admit it or realize it. And always have been, and many innovators have been on the spectrum, and they are found in laboratories all over the world. We are, in fact, working somewhere, some of us, but many of those that are working out there on the spectrum, they are not diagnosed, and they don't want the diagnosis because it might cause them difficulties. So they are not publicly autistic, at least. But like I was an expert chemist and I was analyzing all kinds of substances. I was analyzing cadmium and nitrogen in soil and all kinds of different things, all kinds of pollution. I'm a very capable chemist, and I'm in a laboratory setting where you have all kinds of glassware and all kinds of different chemicals. I am an absolute wonder, or at least I was really, really, really good at that, you know, when I was working in the job market, which I managed for 8, the longest time I worked for anyone else is 8 years, and then in an engineering office as a chemist, and then I was doing all this chemical analysis. But yes.
Why did you stop working in the job market for other people?
Well, I was because I didn't have the social skills, and I sort of landed in trouble in communication with my co-workers and things like that. So I just lost the jobs, and 3 times in a row I lost the job. Also because I was always telling the truth, and like.
Did they know that you had autism?
No, nobody knew. And it was nobody's fault, actually. I mean, I'm not blaming them exactly. They couldn't know that I was autistic, and I didn't know it myself.
Do you think Do you think that that would have changed anything if they had known?
Yes, I think it might have changed a lot. And if I was trying to get a job today with someone else, then I would definitely say that I'm autistic, and I would say you have to realize what you're getting into before you decide. Yes.
Yeah. So, but you told me once that you feel like there's a solution to this for the
Yes.
job market. Why
Yes,
don't
there
you-
is. Yes. Yes, there is. There is actually a very fantastic solution right in front of our noses if we just realize it. Some of the most intelligent and incredible autistic people in the world have already done it. They founded their own companies. Like it is said that Thomas Alva Edison, he was probably autistic, and he was the foundation of a whole company. So we have other examples like that. Of course, you cannot prove that someone historical person was autistic, but it's very likely. So many autistic people, or almost all of us, that's one of the definitions, is that we have a special interest. And when you're and that is the key. The key to everything lies in the special interest of the autistic person, because the important thing is that the autistic person must be helped to work within the realms of the special interest. So, for instance, I'm very good with computers and languages. So I founded a translation company because I read and understand 7 languages, and I am very good also in typing and in word processing and all kinds of, changing documents from one type of form to another and all kinds of things. So I could solve all technical problems myself also. So I actually, when I was 40 years old, I founded a translation company. When I lost these jobs on the job market, I could not work for somebody else. So I created my own translation company, and I translated as a translator for 10 years, independently, just in my own company, and I was working full-time as a translator. Most of my jobs came from the United States, even though I'm in Iceland. And I didn't have to have any personal communication with people, because all the assignments were through email. So it was all through the computer. So a few Skype meetings, one of them, they were very rare. So it was ideal for me at that time, and I managed to survive 10 years as a translator, just working independently, and nobody helped me do this. I did this entirely myself, because, but actually, like many, I know that some autistic people, they like, what we call cartoon, like pictures, like, movies with all kinds of characters, like Japanese, they may like Pokemon movies or something, or things like that or something. And well, then you learn the software, you just get the software and you start drawing yourself, you create your own characters. I mean, just create. I think the creativity of autistic people is enormous. And if you are, like I was also, one of my interests also once was history. I was very interested in history. And then I could have founded a company based on my historical interest. Just, I could have investigated all kinds of historical phenomena, and maybe, I could have gone into, here in Iceland, we go a lot into genealogy, find your ancestors and all kinds of things like that. I could have gone into that, and so there are really unlimited possibilities. chemistry, I could have created some new chemical and, you know, started a company with it. There is, I think that, you know, we have a society and people, we have a much too limited view of the abilities of autistic people, because we tend to look only at the disability, to only look at the weakness, you know, only see the weaknesses, only see the social weaknesses, the lack of social strengths, and the disability. And we focused so much on the disability that we don't see often the capabilities. But actually, you know, somebody on the autism spectrum might like botanics, or, you know, gardening, for instance. That could be an interest, you know, if you like plants, and then you can actually, you know, you can become an expert in garden plants and the kind of plants that people are using in their gardens, and then you can sell them services and helping them to grow their garden plants. I mean, there are all kinds of myriads of possibilities. Also, you know, if you like elves, if elves and trolls are your main interest, like maybe here in Iceland, that's a possibility, then write a book about elves. There are not so many books about elves on Amazon. You can really, you know, create something, you know, and that can be your company. You know, if you're a writer or you're a sculptor or you're an artist, then you have to create a company around yourself. You cannot expect other people to give you work, and that is exactly the whole point. You really cannot expect other people to save you, because they won't do it. So you have to, you and your family, if you have parents that are good parents, and you have, you know, maybe siblings, and you have, you know, some people with you, ask them to help you to create a company around what you love most and what you really would like to do. Let your dream become a reality.
There you go.
Yeah.
When do you think we should start to prepare for this and to promote it?
When the kids are 15 years old.
Okay.
Because they won't all go to gymnasium or college, and they will already, they can, when they're 18 years old, they are adults, and then, I mean, then the support falls away. The support that they have been getting usually falls away when they are 18 years old. And then actually they need to have a future. They already at that time, they need to have something to look forward to. They need to have some kind of plan. They need to have some kind of, and you know, that's one thing, maps. If you love maps, if you love geography, if you love geology, then you just become a specialist in creating maps in computers. You know, you start working for Google Earth, or you start working for, you know, I mean, cartography, that you can, now you can create all kinds of maps in computers, and that's a great work. If you like volcanoes, you become a volcanologist. You don't have to walk on the volcano. You can work in a scientific, like, computer setting, taking data from the measurements on the volcanoes, and you can input it into a computer. That sort of job, you know, desk job. I'm talking about desk jobs, that where you are inputting large amounts of information. That's super for autistic people, because they can find an anomaly. An autistic person can take 10,000 transactions or 10,000, you know, measurements from a volcano and say there is something going on there, because they sense the trend. They will see it.
Because one of the strongest characteristics of people on the spectrum is they're detail-oriented.
Yes. Many are detail-oriented, and you know, 10,000 measurements, that's for them, that's yummy, 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 and they will delve into it, and they will find if there is anything happening on that volcano in South America or something. They will find it, and you know, that can be enormously valuable. in all research, but it also valuable in like for NOAA or for all kinds of, you know, governmental agencies, weather agencies, all kinds of work. It doesn't have to be in academia, it can be elsewhere.
Okay, this was interesting, Ingibjörg. Thank you for that input, and we'll keep going on our conversations and take next topic the next time we. Thank you so much.
No problem, thank you.